Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Got lots of love. Love. 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 Got lots of love. Love.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to some more EU console open tier action. We've got an incredible match here lined up today. It's MME ATX versus Smelvin Industries for a spot in the grand finals. We've got, two of these teams. Smelvin Industries, the runner-up in the mid-season tournament. This is actually the second time they're playing this season. Smelvin was the one that knocked MME out of the tournament. Here is MME's lineup. We're going to go, a little quicker. I am joined by Hunter Tane. Sorry I couldn't get a proper introduction there, but it'll be Leo, Captain Jack, Bonnie, Moose, and Evergreen on the starting lineup for MME ATX. And then on the side of Smelvin Industries, it's going to be...
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Thank you. All right, let's go. Robbie Hash, Maury, Big Nan, Tobbs, and Nix. Two really, really good teams here.
Yeah, phenomenal. Like, both have had pretty good seasons overall, and I'm really excited to kind of see this matchup again as we kind of have a quick little analysis on how these teams have done to make it to this spot in the first place. So you can see Smelvin Industries kind of really getting away with a couple of big wins. They had a very close one with EMC Chimera with that 3-2, and same thing with Oblivion T6 also going to that map 5. But you kind of look over at MME, and the road has looked a little cleaner. They have the 3-1 to their name, but then 3-0s directly following that back to back. So MME really coming in with a big steam of momentum, but I don't know. Momentum does mean something in the grand scheme of things, but it doesn't mean everything.
Yeah, if you want to talk about momentum, Smelvin has survived some close shaves. Just saying, close encounters can lead to great growth. But we've got to start this match somewhere. It'll be Lijiang Tower because who could have guessed that, right?
Yeah, definitely not a popular map or anything. Definitely not the map that everyone plays in Scrim every night. But, you know, there's a reason why this map is very much liked, and that's because this is a big proponent for Brawl-style comps, especially when we go to a map like Control Center, where, you know, this is the one map where I think you could see something similar to a Reinhardt, but, well, MME definitely heard me. We are going to see Bonnie out on the Reinhardt. Big Nan, though, running the Sigma and running that Bastion May style comp with it. So these are going to be some slightly different comps. MME is likely going to want to take faster fights, and that's why they're going to have Leo come out over on the Symmetra just to be able to secure that white room before Smelvin can get there.
MME is already in the server room there, and some walls are coming out from both sides. Mori putting up the wall in the face of Captain Jack, but so far, nothing has landed just yet, but MME is establishing themselves on the point at the moment, so this fight is actually progressing out onto the outside, but Big Nan is going to be the one that draws first blood. Bonnie goes down, and just like that, Smelvin Industries are going to take the first fight and the first flip. And something that we didn't get to talk about, Big Nan isn't the tank that I've seen Smelvin come out on in the past. In all the matches I've watched them play, it's usually fast CN, so I'm interested to see what they're going to do here with Big Nan.
Yeah, well, it might just be the fact that it is a Sigma. Like, some tanks don't have as big as a comfortability on a tank like Sigma. It's a much different playstyle from something like a Reinhardt, but so far, you know, so far so good, doing a really good job as Leo going to send the TP, going to try to attack from behind this fight around.
And Maury's ready for it, I guess. Throwing up that wall right behind him. Don't want to let them get the jump on Smelvin Industries, but the jump comes anyway, or at least they're going to try to. Robbie Hash has eviscerated Bonnie's shield, so not going to be able to, you know, get too aggressive here. And, you know, Maury's had some great walls thus far. Has to get out, and, you know, it will be MME taking the flip. But it'll be a trade. Mori for Moisty Moose here. Bonnie has this Earth Shatter. Definitely won't need it to take down Robbie Hash here. But moving forward, you know, MME, they win the fight out. And it's not over yet. Well, Smelvin wants it to be over. They're backing out.
Yeah, make sure you have all people before you push it, because MMA, like, their big thing was they just slowly took over space until Smelvin just had to back out. They didn't have the necessary ults to facilitate taking it back, so they gave it up, eventually lose the fight, but the Shatter's going to start things off big!
The Shatter actually only hits Big Nan, but it's you know, it's enough, I guess. They get the beat out, but they do also use the Blizzard, a great wall from Captain Jack to keep Robbie Hash from escaping to the team. Is going to put the Bastion in the dirt and secure the lead for MME.
Yeah, but now it's Smelvin that's going to have the ultimate advantage right now. They're going to have their own freeze ready to go, that Flux, which really is not going to be able to be canceled either. They don't have something like a Sombra to cancel out, as we're actually going to see the strike come down. The beat going to come down to try to help them survive, but Mori drops first.
Here's the Blizzard, and it's a big one. 2 players on the Blizzard for Mori. Mori does go down, and the follow-up isn't exactly there across the board, but with Bonnie going down, it's going to be a tough fight for MME to play here. Like, they've got to wait for their Reinhardt to come back, and, you know, admittedly, Bonnie is coming back pretty quickly, but Smelvin is going to get the flip. Moisty Moose, though, has that amp matrix, and they're going to push Smelvin Industries off the point. So they deny about 15% there, but I mean, this fight is very, very scrappy for both teams, and Bonnie trying to get that pin back on to anyone, but not able to find a target. This fight just doesn't end as Tobbs rips Leo's head off. An excellent play by the Baptiste to take down the Symmetra, and Smelvin Industries have firmly placed themselves on the point.
Yeah, but MME likely only going to have one more big fight. They could try to take a quick one if they wanted to, but I think your best case scenario is working up for Captain Jack to be able to get their freeze online, already sitting at 87% and counting. Bonnie might just be looking for a big shatter instead. That window, the wall's already out. It's fine, a couple of people, but the wall blocks it away.
Robbie Hash, only the one to go down there, but they're able to follow up on the shatter onto the Bastion. And I mean, this fight, they're swarming around Bonnie, but that immortality field proving to be an issue. And now They hold forward on the sticks, and that will be MME taking Control Center in a very, very back and forth round.
Yeah, very back and forth. And you kind of look at that last fight with that Shatter. And I know, like, initially, you know, you don't get anybody out of it. You eventually get Robbie, and that's nice. But the significant part about that is that we saw both the wall, or the May wall, and the immortality field both come out to be able to keep them alive. So just Smelvin didn't have the opportunity to use those for the fight coming up. So MME just had the ability to simply just hold W and run in. Hey, they didn't even need the freeze to win that fight either. So it ends up working out really well for them. And I think it's going to work out likely very well for them here, as Leo's still going to stay on the Symmetra. So they should be able to reach this point first without any interruptions.
So here we go. Yeah, Leo gonna TP up into the window. They're kind of expecting Smelvin to not have that Symmetra. So they know that they can beat them and jockey for positioning here on the point. The accretion did come out from Big Nan, who is already 21% to a Gravitic Flux. So these ultimates, they come up pretty quickly. As Bonnie's shield goes down very quickly, but it'll be Robbie Hash that actually is the first casualty here, and they cannot back up fast enough, and you know Mori will get an exit pick there onto Leo, but it just doesn't matter as MME has established themselves on the point. They get the flip.
Yeah, the difference between these comps at the moment is between that Bastion and that Symmetra. Smelvin is going to have more damage at the very beginning of the fight, but as the fight goes on, the advantage goes to MME. They're going to have more charge over on the Symmetra beam. Plus, they have the ability to come in together as soon as Smelvin uses those cooldowns once again, like the Maywall, like the Immortality Field, and right now, MME is just going to lay waiting until they push, and they're just going to throw this window directly in their face as they come through.
Oh, and there's the window from Smelvin, but it's cut off by an excellent wall from Leo. So they just completely get rid of the ability to use the Amp Matrix from Tobbs. I mean, that's a heads-up play that I don't think I've ever seen be made before. So good job there, Leo. But moving forward, I mean, Smelvin only really has the sound barrier. Here comes the Amp Matrix from Moisty Moose, and the combo isn't really going to be there, but you know who is? It's Robbie Hash burning down the Reinhardt as Smelvin is going to cross 60%. Here comes the Flux, but it's on to Captain Jack, who has that ice block and nothing left. So it's 70%. Smelvin Industries will find their footing here on Night Market.
Yeah, which they're still going to have a decent amount of ultimates, you know, losing the Flux. Not the worst thing in the world. You probably didn't need it in that engagement, especially when Captain Jack, like you said, did have that, you know, the ice form ready to go. But now this is likely going to have the aggressive freeze as they have the TP set up, so maybe they can get out of it, but a couple people going to get caught up in it.
And the TP, they're not able to get it fast enough. That's unfortunate because Leo did get it down, but the freeze is impeccable for Mori. And I mean, Smelvin Industries, they don't want to go down without a fight.
Yeah, and Leo likely just going to be setting up for the TP up to that top right again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're not going anywhere after that, though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Captain Jack also has the Blizzard of their own, so they're definitely not going to be able to engage this fight without that important tool. So Evergreen going to pick it up. They're going to keep doing what they want to do here. The wall not quite able to... And block the Shatter for Big Nan! An incredible play! The Shatter is rendered completely useless, but the Blizzard is not. Big Nan goes down to the Blizzard and just at 67%, just short of the lead. MME, ATX, they're going to take the point, and they're going to find Robbie Hash. It's desperation for Smelvin Industries.
Yeah, they realized just getting those couple of picks with that freeze, or just even if it was just Big Man, that's super important, and especially this late pick onto Robbie Hash. Like, someone has to be able to set up on this point. More than likely, either just going to have to speed on together as the group or send Nyx on the side to find the touch on the side at the 99. But right now, all they have to work with is that beat Mori has to try to work up towards this freeze.
Oh my goodness! Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. But those Exo Boots doing great work for Moisty Moose. Only going to keep him alive for so long. Two have gone down for Smelvin Industries, though, as the Blizzard is out. They can't get a freeze, though. Oh, do they find anything? They don't find anything. I mean, Evergreen is able to stay alive on the map, and the shatter comes out. Bonnie establishing the dominance. 2-0 for MME ATX on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and it ends up being a pretty impressive display for them. You know, they came out with that Reinhardt composition, and not going with the Sigma, which has been very traditional nowadays, but teams have their preferences, and I love seeing the Reinhardt as the Reinhardt main myself, and Bonnie just hitting a couple of really good shatters, but give a little bit of credit to Big Nan as well. There was that big block that happened earlier in the fight. Just MME kept pushing it. They knew how to force the cooldowns out of Smelvin Industries, and as soon as they got that immortality field or that wall out, they just held the W, and they know, hey, nothing can stop us. Let's just push. And 9 times out of 10, they win the fight because of that.
Just so you know, they don't have any W's on their controller, Hunter. Gosh, get it right. Get it right.
I'm
Get it
sorry.
together. Get it together.
I used to be a console head. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it was you know, Smelvin. They had their moments throughout that map, right? I mean, both of those points, they were incredibly back and forth, but it was MME ATX that was able to string the fights together, and like you said, playing around an unconventional composition. And admittedly, Lijiang Tower is probably the best place to run the Reinhardt, so I'm interested to see if they keep that going as we go into hybrid. But you know, they just had the edge, and they knew exactly what they wanted to do with the Symmetra. They were able to get around the map very, very well. Always had a plan, right? And they were always able to execute the plan. And moving forward into our next map, which can any of you guess for a $1.50? Can any of you guess what the next map is going to be?
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one, man. What map could possibly be popular enough to be picked more than any other map in the hybrid category?
It's Kings Row.
That's a tough one, but
we're going to Kings Row, everyone.
Oh wow, the shocker! It's the shocker of the century. Let's go.
If you guess Kings Row, you're not getting your money. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's gonna be Kings Row, the rush capital of the world. I kind of expect Smelvin to still want to be running that Sigma rush, and from MME, I mean, I think the Reinhardt composition is not as good as the Sigma composition on Kings Row at the moment. But if they want to run it, especially with the Symmetra, I think if you are going to run a Reinhardt on Kings Row, you should have the Symmetra. So if they're just going to come out on the same comp, I don't have any doubt that they would want to come out on the Reinhardt.
Yeah, and you make a good point with the fact that it's not as good of a comp on Kings Row, which is a sad thing to say in 2023. But kind of the point I want to make on top of that is, like, this is one of the maps where it is actually pretty decent to run the Reinhardt composition. Why not potentially take it to a map that's more open, where the Reinhardt is, you know, not as comfortable as a tank to play? You know, like Kings Row, it's still fine to run the Sigma comp here. That's what is, you know, that's preferable. Just kind of ran into MME, who knew what they wanted to do on that Reinhardt composition. Do you really want to try to go up against that same comp again? Going into this map, knowing that is likely what they're going to. Well, I know nothing. Apparently, I know nothing.
Listen. I don't think either of us even came a thought into our heads that MME would be coming out on a Winston. That couldn't have even. That wasn't even my fifth option for what MME could have been doing.
Are we back in May right now? Are we back to mid-season madness?
Well, there's no Sombra. There's no Sombra here.
Well,
so.
She's terrible now. That's why.
Well, she's not terrible.
Not as good.
She's just hard. You know, they haven't learned to play around her.
We'll give it a year
but no
or two.
Sombra. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't have even fathomed that we would even be seeing a Winston on Kings Row of all maps. But here we go. MME on the Symmetra themselves now, going up onto this high ground with the Sigma dive, right? Big anti-grenade onto Big Nan and Mori, but call that a big Nanty.
Oh god. I'll give you that one. I'll give it to you.
No, nobody's gone down yet, but I mean, Smelvin Industries, they've established themselves on the high ground right now. It's going to be tough for Bonnie to, you know, try and get up there and find any kind of purchase with the Winston. But Nyx is under a lot of pressure. I mean, they're just kind of TPing up and down off this high ground, and Bonnie seems to be turned around. I don't really know if Bonnie knows what's up. Bonnie is at 65% to a primal rage, but I'm absolutely baffled at what I'm seeing right now. I don't have a clue, man. Big Nan is just trying to put the damage into Bonnie and Tobbs and Nyx, or you know, they're building up to these ultimates very quickly, but like, they've lost Mori, and that's the only pick to have come through.
Yeah, like this is when we're talking about with unconventional styles, where you know this was a big comp 6 months ago. Nowadays, not as much at all. And obviously, Big Nan get naded, and right now Smelvin, they just need to try to just run through and lay claim on this point instead of just trying to TP on the high ground and force them off. Because right now, it's just clearly not working. But that's working.
Yeah, that's a great job, a great pick, and they just rolled the backline there of MME, and with Captain Jack going down, that will be it for MME on point A. They're gonna give it up, and I gotta say, I don't like the Winston. I don't know if that's controversial, but
a little bit. It's controversial to me, but I don't hate it for that first point as much as I originally thought I did, because again, it's a little unconventional. You can make something like that work, but now I'm concerned now that we go into second point here, where it's going to be a lot more difficult to get that value. Leo's really going to be the only one that can get high value playing over onto that high ground, so I'm curious how they want to engage this. They're likely just going to send the Nano onto Bonnie into the backline, try to find the supports, and then Primal Rage if they need to stay alive. So we'll see what they're going to do here.
Well, here's a Nano boost, and the anti comes out onto Nyx and followed up on by Captain Jack. It'll be a good not anti, but Nano. You know, but coming back, Smelvin's got almost 5 ultimates here.
Yeah, and I'm curious what they want to try to use here out the gate. I mean, I imagine it's either Robbie or Mori to kind of start out this fight. Maybe just try to send Robbie, just force out Bonnie or force out, you know, the Primal Rage in that instance. Because right now, everyone else is kind of just playing over on the side, over on the far high ground in the back. It's really hard to reach them unless they just commit that TP onto them, which, they're going to cut them off instead and force them to back out.
Here is that, that a flux would be really, really big right now. They're all grouped up, but with Bob entering the fray, not really going to, just going to back off, let that turret do its thing, and leave Bonnie taking a lot of damage, and Leo's not going to go down here, actually, but it will be Captain Jack. Robbie Hash, one of the most electric Sojourn players that we have in this EU console tier. I mean, reprising his role, gonna find 2 picks, and this will be, they're able to just barely escape, but Robbie Hash a third, but Bonnie with the Primal Blade gonna find a couple of their own, but it's just gonna be Captain Jack, and Tobbs saw that Robbie Hash went down and decided, I'm gonna do the damage for myself.
Oh my god, and it's incredible. They're likely going to try to get the touch with Captain Jack, but right now it's Bonnie that's going to have to commit to the neck touch. We're going to see that come out the window, going to go on top of that. Oh, it's going to be so hard to hold on to this point, Fletch.
Yeah, a lot of damage onto Bonnie below 200 HP, and Robbie Hash has returned with the overclock and finds Moisty Moose, and I mean, this will be a lot of pressure onto the backline, but with Nyx being able to survive as long as they did, it's not going to work out for MME. I mean, they found a little bit of purchase with the Winston, but it's just not enough.
Like, it's buying a good chunk of time. You can give it that much, but right now Smelvin's going to have 3 minutes to push this thing, which is still a pretty considerable amount of time for this third point. And this just has to be what MME practiced. Like, this is what they're going to stick with until the bitter end, unless they decide to do, last-minute picks to be able to stall. But for the time being, Captain Jack just looking to be able to build up for that pulse bomb as they're trying to TP on the high ground and find Evergreen to start things out here.
Yeah, Robbie Hash, very, very strong Sojourn player. So Bob is going to come out on the high ground, which, you know, I guess Nyx was scared of Robert, and I don't blame them. Robert's kind of a nice guy until you get on his bad side. But I mean, the beats, I don't know. Mori though is going to find a great pick onto Captain Jack or Moisty Moose, and I mean, I don't know how that flux didn't hit Evergreen, but it was a good flux. They don't get the follow up, but the primal is going to get the juggle onto Robbie Hash, going to get it very, very good at this juggling thing that we've seen thus far, and even Robbie Hash is a little bit impressed by it. And with Robbie Hash and Nyx going down, it's going to be rough for Smelvin. They need to get out or die, and it looks like the latter is the option.
Yeah, Big Nan just going to try to escape with their lives. Should be able to do so. And now we have a minute 20 on the clock. That 3 minutes kind of taken away with a very, very long fight. And now MME going to have both of those support ultimates online. So there's a lot of survivability on the line for MME. And right now, Smelvin, not really anything to work with outside of that overclock. So Robbie's the one that's going to have to come up pretty big in this fight.
I mean, Bonnie
my God.
with the nano boost, I mean, just rips through Smelvin Industries, and that's the quickest team kill I've seen in a bit, actually. And Mori is gonna switch. Okay, all right, Mori, calm down. Okay, Mori, you're allowed to not calm down anymore. We're seeing the Torb.
I'm so happy right now. I understand that you just want to try to keep Captain Jack at bay to the best of your ability. Leo, in a sense, as well, because Leo's just been holding this high ground with no contestment, but Tom's not a fan of that in contestment now.
Yeah, a great pick there on to Leo. Had the Bob to throw out there as the rally came out from Moisty Moose, and I mean, this Torbjorn pick, it's not getting the value for the reasons that I thought it would be, but it's definitely doing something. But Captain Jack is going to put the Torbjorn shenanigans to an end, and with 20 HP, and you know, don't blame Big Nan. Don't blame Big Nan for that, Nyx. I saw it. Big Nan stood still. They can't get onto the point, and Smelvin, they cap with, what was that? 3 seconds?
Point three? Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. That's time. That's time.
That's so unfortunate for Smelvin right there. Or not. Well, yeah, unfortunate for MME. I'm losing my senses right now. But 0.3 seconds. That is literally nothing. But it means so much, because with that that 0.3 of a second, that means that if MME goes and pushes all the way, Smelvin's going to have another shot at this. Despite the fact they finished with 0.3 seconds, that's more than 0, so they'll have that opportunity. And now MME, I'm a little lost on it, but it is pretty nice to kind of have Captain Jack over on the Genji, especially if you're going to have the Nano to be able to work with them, because Nano blades are very strong, especially if Smelvin's going to run a comp that is not going to have the Lucio or the Zen to be able to ult to try to negate it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's been such a long time since I've seen anybody try and force a dive. Specifically a Winston dive. I've seen some Wrecking Ball dive, some Diva dive, but Winston is interesting. I don't really understand it, and we're not gonna see the Genji, unfortunately.
I'm sad.
Captain Jack switching back over to the Tracer has been a good Tracer here for MME through this map, but with Robbie Hash coming back out on the Bastion, Bonnie's not going to have a great time.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of damage pumped into the Scientist. They're going to put some progress on the point, and Smelvin's just going to give them a tick. Big Nan is antied and alone and dead. I mean, I don't understand what the plan is. Smelvin Industries not only gave up a free tick, but they gave up their tank. Like, I mean, Captain Jack is up on that high ground as well, and Smelvin, Like I
Okay.
can only see the meme of like
Bro,
the stick figure with a stick saying, "Come on, do something."
we basically just took a shot to like the Dollar General because they gave that point away basically for free. Like the plan was, at least for the side of MME, they just wanted somebody to drop down, and that was going to become target number one. So Smelvin, if they wanted to prevent that, they had to commit more than just Big Nan because they drop down, they get anti, they've used Immortality Field, and just like that, MME just take advantage of it, and Smelvin just decide, you know what? This point's not it. We're gonna try for second one instead.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen less resistance on point A of Kings Row, and I've seen some pretty pathetic defenses.
Uh-oh.
Captain Jack does not have a recall anymore, so gonna have to play for health packs for the time being. Does still have the pulse bomb ready to go. Back up to full HP as here comes the nano monkey
Sticky.
and the pulse bomb is going to be great. I mean, it gets rid of the immortality field, but it also deals some damage to Big Nan, which they clean up. Robbie Hash does not have that wheels form to take a little bit less damage and deal a little bit more damage. And the roll just continues for MME.
Yeah, Robbie's using the Motor Strike right now, actually, as we speak. We don't know who they're going for quite yet, but we see it up and we see the symbol. Oh, they're just going to try to go on Evergreen.
Robbie Hash's airstrike, and with a pick onto Captain Jack. Smelvin Industries, they're finally going to find something, and here we go. I don't want to say it was the Bastion's fault because I don't think that it was entirely the Bastion's fault, but Robbie Hash is going to go over onto the Sojourn now once again, and here comes the Captive Sun, and I mean that is going to be a wasted ultimate, unfortunately. And I mean Robbie Hash just gets splashed to death by Evergreen's grenade, and I mean, like, they had an excellent attack, right, but it just feels like they don't have a clue what they're doing on the defense.
Yeah, it's really tough for them, and right now MME's in a really good position to simply capture the second point. I don't think Big Nan's going to be able to get back in time, so yeah, they're just setting up a third point now, and this slightly unconventional comp is just working out fantastic for MME. They knew who they need to go for. They know when to get aggressive with Bonnie and when to kind of stay back and let Leo and Captain Jack handle the people that drop down, so comp's working out really good. They have a minute more than Smelvin did on their first attack on getting to the third point, so working out really well for them so far, and right now they're just going to keep getting some free progress around this corner here.
Here we go. Mori on the Ash. Gonna try and find some purchase in the face of Leo. Robbie Hash and this double hit scan comp. Oh, I saw the vision there, Captain Jack. I saw the vision. Not gonna find a pick with the pulse bomb though, unfortunately. And in the face of
Yummy.
The Captive Sun, that's what I was gonna be talking about. Actually, was the Captive Sun, not the pulse bomb, not anything else. And Big Nan just wanted some sunlight for lunch, and it tasted pretty good. Robbie Hash with 2. Mori cleans up Captain Jack, and Smelvin Industries, 3.5 minutes on the clock. They stay alive.
I feel like after this primal, this is where you start considering the option of swapping up. Well, never mind. Okay, they heard that. They heard this. They do swap it up very slightly.
Moisty Moose and Evergreen just switched spots.
Okay, so we're on the merry-go-round right now. All right, understandable. So Bonnie's got the primal rage, and that's all they have to work with by an absolute mile. Meanwhile, Smelvin just has a great rotation of ultimates, and Nick's gonna start out with that Captive Sun, but no value being found quite yet.
Well, here's the Captive Sun. No value. Nick's dead. They have the flux for the side of Big Nan and Smelvin, that is. And I mean, that kinetic grass will not net you very much against a Winston. So we're gonna see the gravitic flux come out, and are they gonna be able to follow up? They will. Robbie Hash gets the damage dealt on it to Evergreen. And whoo, what a rock! Oh my goodness, the accretion from Big Nan going yard onto Evergreen and Moisty Moose there. Sorry, they switched spots. I'm still a little bit confused, but yeah, what an accretion there for Big Nan. And Captain Jack got a pick, but wasn't enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much rehash what I already said. This comp just right now is just not working out great for them. Like, MME is using like these ultimates in these fights. Captain Jack just isn't able to hit the pulse because Tubbs is always ready to go. We always have the immortality field for it, so it's really, really difficult to find somebody. And that nail is going to be like the saving grace of the team right now. Moist Moose and Bonnie just have to work together on this. Look for that back line. Try to find Tubbs or Nyx.
Bonnie getting caught out of position there by Robbie Hash, trying to dive on top of Mori. And the longer this fight goes, Smelvin Industries, they're building up to a few incredibly important ultimates. And Bob came out onto the field, but I mean, Mori's dead, but so is Bob, because I mean, Smelvin Industries, they've got 4 ultimates here. So it'll be really, really important. And how did Big Nan get hit by that Captain Sun? That's kind of crazy. But here comes the window, and it's just going to be to help Big Nan stay alive. Mori coming back from spawn, takes down Moisty Moose, and Bob trucks Captain Jack like a linebacker, and it's going to be a hold here. Only a minute remaining for MME here on Kings Row.
Yep, sometimes all you need is a Bob, and now we're to see MME finally going to swapping things up, almost in a sense desperation picks, as they're just trying to play an even quicker comp. They want to try to end these fights even faster now, so Bonnie not going to be able to have anything like a nano to work with, so now just going to create the pressure, bring up the supports with them more likely, and they just need to collapse in on somebody. And Robbie might end up being the target you want to collapse in on right now, because that overclock might be the difference between us going to extra rounds and Smelvin tying up the series.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only ultimate on the board. Bonnie getting really close to this Primal Rage, and Robbie just going to quite easily slide away. They can't get the Primal Rage! They kill Robbie Hash, but the only other ultimate on the board is gone, and just, they won't be able to use it here. And with Captain Jack and Moisty Moose going down in the backline, they only have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. There's no chance. MME fall on Kings Row. Smelvin Industries, they find their purchase.
I give some credit to MME for trying something that free in the chat for trying something that isn't traditional for this map. And like, we did see it work at points, but when we got down to that 3rd point there, Smelvin just had an absolute hold on that high ground. They would abandon it for a moment when the dive eventually comes through, and they would just find a target to isolate on, because it's something as this Sigma comp, as I'm trying to find out how to describe this, but just you're able to selectively find people out of position, and that's good on dive, but when you're in something like 3rd point, that Sigma comp is unbelievably tough to run into, and that's what MME unfortunately had to deal with trying to run that Winston comp, and especially when they would just pull out the Bastion, and that's what happened at the very end. They just pulled back out the Bastion, and Bonnie got sent out of this world. 99% to that Primal Rage. It could have been the difference, but hey,
Yeah,
we'll never know.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Robbie Hash, after switching back to the Sojourn, I don't know how I feel about the Bastion from Robbie. It looked okay on Lijiang Tower, and it looked all right at points on Kings Row, but on the Sojourn, man, Robbie Hash is a different level than like 99.9% of people, especially on console. I mean, bro turned fights single-handedly, and I mean, everybody from Smelvin came alive on that 3rd point, right? I don't think I've ever seen a more pathetic defense than I did Smelvin Industries points A and B. That was sad, but they brought it back, right? And you know, I guess it only matters how you finish and not how you start. And you know, sometimes if you start that badly, it will bite you. But luckily for Smelvin Industries, they even up the series, and MME ATX, they will have the map pick moving into Flashpoint. And I think I have an idea of where we're probably going to go, but we won't know for sure until we come back from break. So when we do, it'll be just a few minutes. MME ATX will have that map pick, and we'll see what they can do to try and take this momentum back from Smelvin. So stick around. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a series on our hands. Smelvin Industries evening up the score on Kings Row. Moving forward, it is MME's map pick. And, you know, it's pretty easy to try and guess the first 3 maps of a CGL tournament match. It'll be map number 1, Lijiang Tower. Map number 2, Kings Row. Map number 3, Suravasa.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing generally shocking about these map picks that we've seen so far today. I mean, Lijiang, Kings Row are already pretty popular maps, and if you ever participate in scrims or just watch matches in general, you know that 9 times out of 10 teams prefer to go to Suravasa. Why? I don't know. It's prettier. But
It's
in
just
actual
a better map to play.
yeah, and plus, like, the Sigma comp does tend to work better on a map like Suravasa in comparison to something like New Junk City, where you kind of can run something like an actual Junker Queen there, which is cool, but not as capable on Suravasa. So I would not be. Ooh,
I don't 100% agree with that, actually.
Ooh.
I do think that Junker Queen can work. I don't think it's peak. I do still think Sigma is the best shout. But, I mean, Junker Queen on, you know, the Flashpoint maps, you know, especially paired with a Lucio, which, you know, already is a must-have on Flashpoint just because of how big the maps are. I just feel like the Junker Queen gives a good bit of survivability and speed on these points that, you know, other tanks really don't. And especially because we haven't seen MME come out on the Sigma. They have come out on Reinhardt and Winston.
Yeah.
I am curious if they want to come out on a Junker Queen.
It's possible, because we do have situations where we just have situations where teams just like realize that, like, hey, the Sigma comp is not our thing. Let's play to our comfortability. Let's play to what we are good at. And actually, we kind of see Goldia actually is in now, playing the Baptiste now for MME. So yeah, they're just going to be full committing to this Ryan style comp. I don't hate it. I love it. I'm just curious how it's going to deal running into Smelvin once again, who, you know, back to basics, running the Sigma Bastion comp. Running it, though, with Robbie Hash on the Sojourn, you know, took note of that performance over on Kings Row. Going to try to run it back one more time. Likely going to be playing, not primarily on an off angle, but does have the ability to do so. So now, see what these teams are going to do. First fight coming out here on Suravasa.
Here we go. Market, where we always begin on Suravasa. MME's trying to avoid all of the damage that is being put out by both Robbie Hash and Mori, and Smelvin Industries, they're going to take the first flip here, and it'll be a bit of a cute teleporter up there onto the high ground from MME, and that disruptor shot is doing just that, disrupting Goldia. And the pin comes through onto Big Nan, but Mori will put a stop to it before they can follow up on that damage. Smelvin Industries, they got about 15% on the point before the fight even began, and they're already at 40.
Yeah, like, honestly, this should be like the last fight that MME is going to be able to take here. And the biggest thing behind this comp, when you're running against that Bastion, what MME is wanting to do is either going to take a full-on fight before cooldowns come out, or you want to try to force Mori to use that turret form first, zone it out, and then push directly after the fact. So we do see it out already, so we're likely going to see the push coming in, but Goldia goes down first. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, without the shield, I mean, Bonnie's shield just is getting eviscerated. And that's what you're going to run into when you're playing into the Bastion right now. And at 85%, the point is already all but over here for MME. They've got to give up and try and guess where the next point's going to be. And they lost the gamble. That's unfortunate for MME. Smelvin Industries, they take market.
Yep, Bonnie, though, is going to have that Shatter Online. Goldia, despite dying, like, first in both of those fights, they're already 85%, you know, to their ultimate, but the big thing is that Tops has theirs online instead, but the Immortality field is getting forced out as the fight's going to be taking place off point for the time being.
Yeah, the Amplification Matrix duel here is going to be in full force, as we'll see them come out here, and, the teleporter going to help MME stay alive in a dire situation where Mori kind of had them shoved into a corner with that airstrike. Bonnie does have
Big
the
shatter.
Earth Shatter. We see it come out, and it hits 0. Unfortunately for Bonnie, you need that to hit anybody if you want to justify the Reinhardt, but somehow Big Nan did get frozen by that blizzard, and with 2 others going down to the blizzard, Smelvin Industries, they're gonna lose that fight to start out here on Ruins.
Yeah, and we're seeing MME just gonna be playing up pretty aggressively because they want to take this fight very quickly. They don't want to give Smelvin the chance to let Robbie come in on the off angle. They have that overclock. They could do a ton of damage if they just get in the right spot. But I don't think they realize that Smelvin has already gone a different direction. So that plan's out the window. Just gonna have to commit to this fight on the point. Robbie Hash still going to have that overclock. Likely going to go over to the side and use it here momentarily as we see the rotation, and likely to come out any second here. And here they go.
Here we go. The sound barrier going to respond to it from Evergreen. And, I mean, it's going to be a really, really good flux here for Big Nam, but a great wall is going to counter out a lot of the follow-up. Mori is able to take down Captain Jack, but right now, it's great trades for Smelvin Industries. I mean, you'll take the death of Big Nan, and they use the Amp Matrix.
Ooh, that is a choice. You know what? I can't hate it. You go for it. You try to make something happen. I can at least give you the credit. I'll let you do that then. But you know, it does actually end up being a pretty bad situation because now MME going to have 0 ultimates. Bonnie's getting closer to that shatter. So it might be somewhat beneficial for MME to kind of let this next fight drag on just a little bit. But they're already here, and Tubbs doesn't want to move from their spot, it looks like. No. They don't want to get shattered again.
All right, bye, Adam. That's more of a goodbye than what the Florida Mayhem gave Adam.
Oh, man.
But yeah, here we go. Smelvin Industries, they need to take this fight here. It'll be a good little airstrike to take down Evergreen. The shatter is almost up for Bonnie, and MME is going to deny a bit of a percentage for Smelvin Industries, but it's not going to be a good enough fight here as it was a great airstrike from Mori. And I mean, MME, they are facing down the barrel of a loaded gun here. 99% they have, but so close to not capturing.
Yeah, and right now, this is the choice they have to make. Are we going to try to recommit? With that TP, they're going to more than have the opportunity to do so, trying to make sure everybody gets there first. They have a lot of ults that they could use, at least a lot of important ults with that shatter in that freeze, so likely going to use it here as soon as Smelvin tries to commit back on the point, but gonna let it flip first, so I don't know.
Here we go. Sound barrier's out, and the shatter and blizzard combo ever deadly for MME ATX. They're going to take Ruins. They're going to even up the score here on Suravasa. And we're going to move on to, it looks like Temple.
Okay. But that ends up working out really well for MME. They used 2 ultimates, yes, but they're going to have 2 more online ready to go for this next fight. Smelvin, once again, we're in a scenario where Robbie Hash, only one with their ultimate online. That overclock. So likely going to be the difference maker in this first fight as MME already is set up on the point. Likely just going to use that window as soon as Smelvin engages onto one side of the point. Robbie, though, like I said, big difference maker. Overclock ready to go. Gonna see what they can accomplish here to start out our 3rd point here. Things tied it up.
Here we go. That teleporter already having been expended. The accretion onto Bonnie. They don't know that Robbie Hash is in the back line. They won't, you know, be oblivious forever, as here comes the Amp Matrix, and Robbie Hash not actually able to get anything from the Leo on the up, goes down, and you know, despite Big Nan losing their life, it will be Smelvin Industries taking the first flip here on Temple.
Yeah, I thought for a moment there, like, Smelvin was like not in that good of a situation. Like, as Leo kept getting more and more charge, and Robbie Hash was kind of just shooting ghosts at the wall crit put up by the Symmetra, but eventually ended up paying off because they go for the investment with Big Nan. So it pays off for the time being, 30% and counting. MME, though, got a couple of key ults coming up soon, especially still having that beat online ready to go. Going to be really good for Mori, who's looking to probably set up here for this Lord Striker.
Oh, they just jump on top of Mori, who, you know, you can tank a lot of damage playing Bastion, but like, you can't take that much damage. I mean, everybody was on top of the Bastion there. And
what?
Bonnie is so low, and they're actually able to take down Evergreen. So, you know, a bit of maybe a misguided window, and oh no.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Okay, no, some peel there from Bonnie, and no teleporter for Leo. Leo is so very, very low. The teleporter is going to come out, and Mori is able to get behind Leo, and that will be Smelvin taking the flip once again. They only need one more fight.
Yeah, we saw MME just try to kind of collapse onto Smelvin after being in that 5v4 scenario, which is the correct call. That is something you should do in that situation. But you know, we saw Tubbs. They didn't want to go down without a fight, so they throw it out. They get to pick onto Evergreen, ends up working out in their favor. Now MME gonna have all 5 ultimates online for this fight. They have every tool at their disposal to win this fight.
But Robbie Hash, and the shatter gets blocked. The pick onto Captain Jack is so crucial. The block on the shatter even more so, and they don't need to invest anything else. Smelvin Industries, they make the play when it matters. They take Temple. They move to map point.
And MME uses 4 different ultimates on that fight, and it doesn't even pay out. They use them to try to survive, and now MME doing the unthinkable from what we've seen so far today, switching over to that Bastion as well as the Sigma. This is, in a sense, once again, I would call it borderline desperation at this point, but they're just going to try to run it back at them. This is the team that's going to want to take the quicker fight now with Leo on the Bastion, so got to come in here, look for the first target.
Problem, they don't have all of the ultimates that Smelvin Industries has at the moment, and it's going to be a great job avoiding death from Big Nan. But you know, as I say that, I mean, it's going to be a great fight with just the Blizzard invested. Coming back though, Smelvin has almost 4 ultimates ready to go, and MME, they've got Jack.
Yeah, this is going to be a big phase. This is going to be, like, I think, in my opinion, probably one of the most important fights of this map so far, because MME, as you said, they have nothing to their name, but they have the ability to get a lot of ultimates out of Smelvin, whether they lose or win the fight. So regardless, you're going to get something out of them here, and if you don't get anything out of Smelvin and they win the fight regardless, that's going to be a giant issue for MME.
Here we go. Smelvin re-engaging the wall. You know, Big Nan just decides, yeah, I'm over the top of the wall, but I can just fly. If that's all right, I think I'll just go straight up into the air. And the overclock is going to come out from Robbie Hash. That's 3 ultimates, but MME is turning it in their favor despite losing Leo. I mean, a great fight. Almost exactly what you need if you are MME ATX here. They're pushing into spawn now, and that's going to be it. Gardens goes towards MME.
This was the literal perfect scenario that MME was hoping for. Smelvin invested the ultimates. MME, because they didn't have anything, they don't have to invest. They know where the last point is now, so they can get to their first. And now they're coming up on all 5 ultimates for this next fight. Smelvin just sitting on their own ultimate on top. So it's a really tough scenario for Smelvin Industries, who was looking like the dead winner of this map but a few minutes ago, and now MME very securely sitting in the driver's seat.
Here we go. Palace to decide everything on Suravasa. Leo using the airstrike. MME 5 ultimates in the bank just about. Here's the amp matrix. They use it. They push back on to Tobbs. They push back onto Mori. Smelvin Industries, luckily they didn't use Tobbs' ultimate, and Nyx built up to the sound barrier. So very, very quickly they should be you know, able to get their ultimates back online, and MME, they're pretty comfortable with the 3 they've got.
Yep, and now this next fight coming up, like, MME have a plan for whether Smelvin gets super aggressive or just try to go towards the point, you know. If Smelvin just tries to play like a quick aggressive style, Bonnie can use the flux to be able to shut it down, but no, please, you can't let him do that. Oh, they're investing!
Oh, no, that's not what you want to see if you're Smelvin Industries. Robbie Hash goes down, Tobbs dead. That is terrible for Smelvin Industries. They invested both support ultimates, and Robbie Hash just got caught out so early, and they've only got one more chance.
And now it's going to be so hard to touch this point right now because whoever commits to that point is just going to get flexed in the air. And guess what? You don't have the beat. The only thing you have to be able to keep yourself alive is that Immortality Fever from Tops, who is going to be target number 1 for MME. So Robbie just going to get very, very close to this overclock. That could be the difference between a win and a loss here for this team, as here comes the final fight coming through.
Potentially, the map could end right here, but Robbie Hash has the ultimate, and Bonnie's able to go, and they're gonna be taken down. Leo gets the trade onto Robbie Hash. Overclock invested though, so that's a terrible, terrible sign for Smelvin Industries moving forward. Nick's not able to escape the clutches of Evergreen. It's 3 versus 3. Big Nan has the Gravitic Flux. What can they do with this ultimate? Mori returning has the Blizzard. This is going to be it. This fight may very well decide who moves to match point, and they take down Big Nan. Robbie Hash is going to go down as well, and it's gonna be a 2-for-2 trade though. Mori, so low. Captain Jack, the wrong person to focus down if your Nyx has the ice block, and that will do it. MME, in the face of all adversity, they take Saravasa and they move to match point.
An incredible display as we finally see them go over towards that Sigma comp with the Bastion, and lo and behold, it works out fantastic for them. To be fair, this was like the best case scenario what ended up happening over on the 4th point, being able to get so many ultimates and not, getting anything out of Smelvin's ultimates. They used 3 during that fight. None of them get any real value, so it's best case scenario for them. And it's just, it's amazing to see them come back like that after being in such a down scenario, being down 2-1, switching up comps. It's a really, really amazing display, not just from what we saw, but like the mental toughness from being down, being in that tough position, having to change from what you're super comfortable on, and you make it work. You make it happen. You get into your right alt rotation, and it just works out super well for MME.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit, right? I thought it was over when MME switched over to Sigma. Smelvin had 4 ultimates. MME had 1. MME had not played Sigma all day. I thought that they just weren't going to be comfortable on the comp. I was wrong. I'm more than happy to admit when I'm wrong here. And Smelvin Industries, they have the map pick coming in for push, and it's going to be an interesting one because it plays into what MME wants to do. It's going to be Coliseo.
Yeah, this is a map that, this is probably the one that can definitely favor the Ryan style if you want to, but I think just like with any other push map, I think the Sigma comp, once again, still a very, very viable comp, especially when you get into this position where, you can start playing out in the open. The Sigma is going to be able to hold the high ground very securely, but for the Reinhardt, they're going to have to be on the ground to be able to accomplish basically anything. So the big important fights are going to happen in that middle ground, especially that first fight, because if we see Smelvin come out, win that first fight or two, and are able to just literally just play on the defense after that point, just secure a position, it's gonna be really tough for MME to be able to break through that.
Yeah, I said it. MME's looked great on the Reinhardt for most of the day. They've been running unconventional comps for most of the day. We don't really ever see the Reinhardt, and props to them. They switched to what they needed to do on Saravasa, and they played very, very well on it. So I'm curious if they do want to come back out on the Reinhardt, because they were kind of getting rolled when they were playing the Reinhardt on Saravasa. I don't know. I guess we'll see in 10 seconds.
Yeah, it feels like it's slightly different when we're looking back at Saravasa, where, I don't know, it just felt like a situation. Man, I'm not sure how to properly describe it either, but it looks like the days of Reinhardt are coming to an end here. Bonnie just going to be over on the Sigma now. So this is just the commitment now. Both teams going to be running the same exact thing. I would be very remiss to believe that either teams were going to swamp off before we go out of the spawn room. So MME, they have it in their hands right now, the ability to close out the series 3-1, but now they are running back into Smelvin Industries, rocking the same exact comp from the very beginning this time around. So let's see how they perform out on the beginning running this Sigma style comp.
I'm going to be interested in this Sojourn battle, right? Leo hasn't played nearly as much Sojourn as Robbie, and we know Robbie to be a very, very good Sojourn player. So I'm very, very interested in that duel specifically, but as we get into this first fight, Bonnie is taking so much damage. I mean, so low for so long, playing in the, the little cubby down there, trying to, get those hyperspheres bounced off the walls to deal a little bit of damage of their own. And right now, this ultimate economy, it's leaning a little bit towards MME right now, but it's that the fight's not anymore. Smelvin Industries is going to, okay, that's so Colosseo, isn't it? For so long, just nothing happens, and then Smelvin kills 4.
Yeah, but Leo just find the pick onto Robbie on their way out. So honestly, MME in a decent position now to be able to kind of like push down on this, because obviously Leo is going to get back just very slightly faster than Robbie. So Smelvin not going to be pushing any further from this gate for the time being, making sure they have all 5 before they want to do an aggressive push again. And they're actually just going to back it complete out to the mid ground and just try to take the same exact fight as last time.
Yeah, that's the right play. I mean, you're down a guy, and you're going to come back. And Robbie Hash is very, very confident in his ability to click heads. And we see the Amp Matrix from Tobbs dealing that amplified damage. And, very, very good by MME to just walk away from it, right? Leo, though, will not let Mori get away with their life. Mori goes down, MME popping the overclock, which, by the way, Robbie Hash is still only 70% to an overclock. So Smelvin Industries, they're kind of hurting right now, and MME is getting very, very aggressive.
Yeah, there are very few things in life that scares me, but Leo with an overclock looking into the amplification matrix, that just sends a chill down my spine. But yeah, they take over the advantage as well, pushing past, coming up on 30 meters now, and counting, because Smelvin just has to initiate with something. More likely going to be setting up for the Motor Strike up top, potentially waiting for Big Nan to be able to get that online. But no, they're just going to pressure Leo. They're just, I don't know. They had a plan.
Yeah,
Leo,
no, they're going to, they don't actually take down Leo.
Nope.
That looked like Leo was right in the middle of the... Yeah, that looked like Leo was right in the middle of the strike, but the pressure's going to go on to Bonnie, and Bonnie goes down, in no man's land. And
what?
I think Big Nan was trying to find Goldie there, just a little bit of an overcorrection on the accretion, but MME, they're just going to back off.
Yeah, now Big Nan's Flux is likely going to be the biggest proponent of this fight, because MME, right now, they don't have to push down quite yet. There's still a tiny bit of meterage before they have to really commit anything. Leo not having the overclock also going to be significant for Smelvin specifically, who are just going to, that point got pushed accidentally forward, so now it's in a really awkward position. So Smelvin kind of just committed to this little environment. MME said, hey, we're just going to take the spot. Thank you very much. Going to rent it out for the day. So just going to carry it back to the mid-fight and just back out once again.
I was saying that I'm very, very interested in this Sojourn duel, right?
Oh.
Leo has lapped Robbie Hash on overclock. Here we see Robbie's overclock, but Leo has a second overclock in this map before Robbie was able to pop his first. So that might be a travesty moving forward for Smelvin, but if they can win this fight out, they will get the lead, and it looks like Mori is the one that's going to be the one to make the plays when they matter. Bonnie is once again caught in no man's land, but with only 7 meters behind MME, Smelvin should be able to take this lead pretty easily.
Yep, about to be there. So now you're going to see MME just kind of play on this high ground for the time being. Remember, you can stall the bot on the high ground from just standing on top, like the way you see Captain Jack at that moment, but you mainly want to do it from the street side, so likely going to do that just to kind of hold out for a moment as Mori going to try to find some receipts with this. Unfortunately, Yeah, the roof is not, unfortunately, a viable target in this game.
Yeah, Leo is going to exact their revenge onto Mori.
Ooh.
And, you know, Robbie Hash going down as well. That's going to be, spell the end of this fight for Smelvin Industries. Well, as I say that, I mean, 2 players have gone down for MME. The healing is going to come through onto Leo, but, oh no, Tobbs, you didn't choke. The game's not over yet.
It's not over yet. They keep typing it. It's alright. There's plenty of time still. Only halfway through the clock thus far. The lead isn't even that big. It's a 1-fight lead, like all things considered. But MME, the big thing is they have that big ult advantage. Bonnie gonna start things out. Gonna try to find somebody on the flux.
And it'll be an ice block and a tank, which is, you know, not exactly what you want. But oh, okay. So knew the ice block was no longer there for Mori, but Robbie Hash coming alive too. It'll be a trade of DPS here. We see the sound barrier from Nyx, and I mean, this is incredibly interesting as Robbie Hash, you know, heard me talking. I've been a big proponent of Robbie Hash, so, you know, been a little bit disappointed in the performance this map, but shutting me up soundly right there. Robbie Hash with 3.
Yeah, then they have an opportunity potentially to get this full cap, but we do see Captain Jack over there on the Tracer. They're likely going to commit on the first touch onto this point, and subsequently Bonnie the one after. We'll see it briefly come through on top, getting very close as we see the drop of commitment. Tubbs going down first.
Tubbs unfortunately dead here, so that is most of Smelvin's healing expended and gone. And with Big Nan leaving the arena of battle, that will be it here. MME deny the butt scratch, and Smelvin Industries, they're pretty happy. They've got a 20-meter lead right now, so they've got some time.
Yeah, they do have that ability to still kind of have like a buffer of a fight, but as that bot's going to get much closer to that cap, they want to try to prevent MME from being able to get out way into the open. As you know, we do have that flux from Big Nan. That could be the very significant difference between a win and a loss here. Just looking for the target, just trying to see if they might want to invest in Mortality Field early. Just give yourself as much of an advantage as you possibly can, and that's a heck of a way to start a fight.
Yeah, that's the overclock being invested early, and the Immortality Field's going to keep Big Nan alive as the Flux is actually going to come out, but Big Nan goes down!
Oh,
Big Nan popping the Gravitic Flux is not going to work out here for Smelvin Industries, and Mori thought that they were staying alive, and they're going to get butt scratch.
That is worst case scenario for Smelvin. Like losing Tobbs that early, or Robbie, my bad, that early is devastating enough, but like in a situation where now the butt scratch is an MME and they're just going to be able to get this push until Smelvin just pushes past this corner, which with the way their comp works, they might just have to wait for Mori to get that freeze first, or just wait for it to get to the top of staircase.
Here's the overclock from Robbie Hash. What can he do? So far, it's an Immortality Field. That is going to be it, but Leo is going to be sent flying off the side of the map. The double DPS ult and the sound barrier from Nyx is going to put it out there. And luckily, I mean, MME, they invested just as heavily into that fight.
Bunny. Yep, okay. Bunny is going to go back over to that Reinhardt now. So we're back to this scenario, which I don't fully hate. Like, I get it. But this is working out well for you. I still wonder why completely change it when it's working well.
Oh, no! Jack... Nyx falls up on the damage from Leo, and the Reinhardt is already showing its merit, staying alive so well. And Robbie Hash just trying to survive here in the face of danger. Gonna just do a little kickflip over the fire strike, but it's looking dangerous right now for Smelvin Industries.
Yeah, and now, like, going over this Ryan comp, with the way we are at progressively into this match, like, they have the ability to play a corner really hard, to play up on the staircase, play it at this narrow corner. So it's going to be really tough for Smelvin to be able to push into it. Actually, we're going to see MME just hold the corner, let Smelvin get back to this corner so they can commit to that instead. So Bonnie, by the way, already 80% of the way to that shatter. It's going to be coming on so shortly here.
The big deal here, they did not allow MME to grab that that checkpoint. So, I mean, Bonnie with the Earth Shatter could put this away with only 30 seconds remaining. I mean, gonna walk past the shield and going to put Big Nan on their back. But the follow-up, it's just not there. Robbie Hash cleans up the damage on to Bonnie and Smelvin Industries. They have one more chance, one more opportunity to take this to a map number 5.
Yeah, and Smelvin to be able to do this, like at the very minimum, they need to win 2 fights. Like, it's still going to take time when you get that butt scratch, and they're going to have the ability to actually stop them from getting this butt scratch if they sit on the cart, which they're going to be able to sell it on from the top. Leo going to be the significant one right here. They have that overclock nice and ready to go. Could be the difference between the series ending and us going to map 5.
Big Nan whiffed on the gravitic flux, and they can't get Bonnie off of the height. This is a travesty as Leo finds Robbie Hash. Leo popping the overclock has basically just put the game away. MME get their revenge from the mid-season tournament. They go to the grand finals.
What an absolute display from this team here today. Like we called it out multiple times, like the comps they were running. We thought in our mind, oh, why are they doing this? You know, the Winston comp's kind of weird. The Ryan comp's not really conventional anymore. But still, they went in and they made these comps their own. And when it just came push to shove going over to the Sigma comps, they ended up playing it better than Smelvin did. And when they were finally in a comfortable enough position to go and run the Reinhardt instead, they held it down, and they held it down so strongly. So all the props in the world to MME, who have as you have said, have earned their spot in the grand final. Smelvin Industries is going to be moving down to the losers bracket instead, where they still have a chance to have their own revenge match against MME, but now they have to earn it.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing against the... did this game already happen? No, it hasn't. So, AFMT is going to be playing the winner of EMC Chimera. If do we have a bracket potentially, Rammer? If not, I can just say it. All right, yeah, here we go.
There we go.
So, EMC Chimera and Oblivion T6. That game has already happened. I don't know why it's not reported. I think I can't remember who won, but whoever won that game, Oblivion won that game. Okay, so they're going to play the winner of AFMT Oblivion T6 in the losers finals for a chance to get another shot at MME ATX. AFMT, if you'll remember, was the champion of the mid-season tournament. So, I mean, we're coming down to the wire here. We've got I mean, our top 4 is basically, well, is not basically locked in, is locked in. You know, this tournament is getting down to where, you know, it's just the great teams remaining.
Yeah, because with that, we have what we only have. It's just 3 now, right? Between Smelvin, MME, and then AFMT. Oh no, it's Oblivion as well. Oblivion is where about 4 teams remaining in the bracket. Look at that. Like, I love looking at like every team's journey and how quick or, you know, how long it took for them to be knocked out. So I just love staring at this bracket and seeing all these different results, especially, you know, a team like Chimera, which just kind of quickly mentioned, they had a heck of a run there in the lower bracket, as you can kind of see, but unfortunately does come to an end to Oblivion. But I don't know. It's exciting regardless. We'll have to see how this eventually plays out in MME. You know, they definitely have the advantage on their side. They're so confident. I love watching them play, personally. I have no bias with this team. I have no friends on this team, but I just love watching them perform and play these different variety of comps.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about it early, right? They were running some goofy stuff.
throwing
Winston on Kings Row. Yeah, I don't know. Winston on Kings Row is crazy. But yeah, they're flexible. Oh, yeah. I mean, they came out on the Sigma, which they didn't want to show their hand, but I guess, you know, maybe they are confident on the Sigma and they just wanted to save it for the grand finals and thought that they could get away with running the silly stuff. And because Smelvin wasn't going to give it to him for free, they had to break out the trump card, which was the Sigma comp. And, you know, obviously that is purely speculation.
Yeah. Take
what I say with a grain of salt. I have not talked to any of these players. But yeah, MME, they are locked in top 2. They're in the grand finals, and they'll get a shot. Well, somebody in the lower bracket will get a shot at them for the title, for the money. But unfortunately, that will do it for us for right now. the EU stream will be ending here, unfortunately. But moving forward, we will have, I think, one NA game later tonight. So if anybody in the NA is here, come tune into that tonight. I know it'll be late for the EU people, but, it'll be fun to watch regardless. You have anything else to say before we go, Hunter?
You know what? Not heavily particularly outside of the fact that I think this was an extremely fun match, and I'm happy that it was something other than a 3-0. Like this stayed very consistently back and forth for a time between these teams, and I'm just excited to have that kind of match here in Overwatch. It's good for a team who wins a 3-0, but I think for everybody else involved, not the greatest thing in the world. So I'm just happy to see the close matchup and see both of these teams go head to head, and hey, maybe we'll get the chance to see it one more time.
Yeah. So once again, thank you all for watching, and thank you to Headrammer and okay, so they've all left. Zeuser, Orange, and Little Joe for observing today, and thank you all for watching. And I hope you will tune in to those other matches later on. They will be some great ones. So, with that, we're gonna cut it off here. Good night, everyone.